Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023 Ontario Business Achievement Awards, brought to you by our series presenting partner at Canadian National Railway. This year's theme is all about building the sustainable future. We know that technology needs to be an enormous part of that. And of course, technology leads to digitization, and digitization, for all of its wonders, also exposes us to the incredible and important issue of cybersecurity. So this episode is all about focusing on the risks, the challenges, and what you can do to be safe while we're building that sustainable future. Big shout out to our episode partners at Northbridge. And look, I'm way out of my depth on this. So I'm going to hand it over to the OCC's technology guru, all-around fix-it guy, Roland Isberto. Roland, over to you.
Thanks, Rocco. I'm excited to be part of this episode. There's no question that technology provides many benefits to our daily lives. However, with those benefits come layers of complexity that we must learn to navigate. In a few minutes, you'll see a conversation I had with cybersecurity expert Feroz Haider of Ferrotechnics. You'll hear some of his insights about information security and ways to keep your company safe. After that, we'll share our top 10 strategies on protecting your data. But first, let's hear from a company that not only suffered, but overcame a critical cyber attack and the lessons that they learned.
My name is Mark Falbo. I'm the president and CEO of the Mercom Group of Companies based in Vaughan, Canada. The Mercom Group of Companies is a North American-based technology company that sells products and services into over 100 countries around the globe. Our primary technologies are around fire detection and alarm, access control and building communication, and building automation controllers for lighting, HVAC, and energy management. And we're a proud Canadian technology company. Several years ago, we had the unfortunate experience of a ransomware cyber attack that effectively brought our company to its knees for a period of time prior to remediation. Once you realize you're the victim of a cyber attack, you lose all visibility and ability to communicate with staff, customers, suppliers, the entire ecosystem of people that are involved in your business. We quickly pivoted to engaging lawyers, bankers, accountants, IT experts, security experts. We needed to engage our leadership team, and we had to do it without the benefit of an active system that was functioning. It's more a question of when, not if, your company will be attacked. Architects of cyber are sophisticated and aggressive people. They're very active, and the prevalence of cyber attacks is increasing all the time. The solutions around cyber prevention and cyber attacks aren't necessarily just technology related. Obviously, the more you harden your networks, prepare your systems, back up your data, utilize cloud, things like dual factor authentication, and technology that is automated, the more important element to protecting yourself is really cultural. It's staff training, staff awareness, staff education. Let people understand that very simple and innocent acts of opening emails or responding to inquiries could lead to very disastrous consequences in cyber. We would have benefited by really contemplating in advance what happens if you come into the office one morning and you're blind. You don't have access to your working capital accounts. You don't know what payables you owe, what receivables are owed. You don't know where your inventory is. You can't ship. You can't support your customers in tech support or customer service. You can't speak with your staff via email. You are truly at a loss, and so preparedness for an event could really help a company execute a faster and smoother remediation. The good news is that in the event of an attack, there are solutions. You can solve your problems with technical solutions. You can harden your system against future attacks, but the reality is you're much better off doing the preparation in advance, protecting your systems in advance, doing dry runs, training, phishing tests, penetration tests, cyber insurance. There are a lot of things that companies can and should do in advance and in anticipation of attacks. And like the old adage says, an ounce of prevention is worth much more than a pound of cure.
My thanks to Mark for sharing that story and helping all of us to be better prepared. Big shout out to our series presenting partner at CN, and of course our episode partners from Northbridge.
For over a century, Ontario's Chambers of Commerce and Boards of Trade have been a driving force, supporting both communities and businesses. Through challenges, we've stood strong, connecting voices and advocating for what matters most. In the spirit of collaboration, we find strength. A network of over 60,000 business owners shaping the future of our province by driving sustainable economic growth and cultivating resilient communities. We are your community partners. Together, we are unstoppable. For more information, visit www.occ.ca/chamber-network-directory.
We're so thankful to partner with Northbridge on this episode. Now, here's my chat with Feroz Haider, CEO of Ferrotechnics. I asked him what he thought was the safest way to store sensitive company data.
So the most common mistake the businesses make is that they do not have an inventory of their information and data processing assets. They do not know where all their assets are, so therefore they cannot protect those assets. And if they cannot protect that assets, ransomware or other malware can impact those assets, and it can spread through the organizations very quickly because of just one simple fact that the organization did not know or did not have control on of their assets.
It's interesting that you mentioned ransomware because we just discussed a company that had to deal with the challenges of ransomware in the first segment of this episode. We've all heard of situations or even seen within our Chamber of Commerce network where an organization has their identity stolen, someone else pretending to be them, sometimes with a fake online presence, or even sometimes cold calling. How can we guard against this?
The most important part of guarding against any ID theft or a fake cold calling attacks like that is to make sure that your employees are properly trained. We need to provide training to all employees. Each one of them should be able to recognize what's a phishing attack, what's when it's somebody is trying to call and trying to gain their credentials, for example. They should be able to understand that they cannot click on any link at any time unless they are expecting an email from someone with certain links. So the most important part is to make sure that your employees are always trained.
As business owners, many observed with interest as different levels of government across the country have removed TikTok from their devices. What is your best advice when it comes to social media in general?
I think that social media is a great tool for marketing and sales. However, social media platforms or applications should not be allowed on any organizational assets, including laptops or handheld devices or smartphones provided by the organization. They're a great tool for marketing and sales, and it should remain for organizational purposes. It should remain on with marketing and sales.
How did you first become interested in cybersecurity as a career? And is it a growing field?
I first actually got interested in cybersecurity a long time ago, long before firewalls came into existence. At that time, I realized is that the businesses or business owners did not consider their information or their other assets to be of any use to anybody outside of their organization. So they would actually not protect the information the way that it should be protected. So I became interested in making sure that all the information is only available to the organization as and when it needs. And that's how I really became interested in cybersecurity. And it's a really growing field now. There's a shortage, actually. There's a huge shortage. There's a shortage of about 1 million people in North America to protect the information.
Wow, it sounds like you're a real cybersecurity pioneer. What is the most interesting technology available working to keep us safe from cybercrime?
A lot of technologies are coming up, including facial recognition technology, where So you can use your face to actually log in. Also, SaaS is something that is being used quite often now. And SaaS actually stands for Secure Access Service Edge. It's replacing VPN these days. So I would urge all the organizations to really look into SaaS. They should have SIEM installed, which is security incident and event management tool, so that they any event happening in their organizations that is outside the bound of their expectations should immediately be addressed, or it should be looked at immediately. So these are some of the things that all the organizations should have these days.
Oh, amazing. And so SaaS, you don't need the traditional VPN client. Is it sort of cloud-based? You go and you log into the portal and all the security is on the back end?
So it can be cloud-based, but it can also, the organizations can deploy it within their own organization as well without using the cloud. But it can be used as cloud and cloud-based. And actually, you can actually log in to the SaaS from anywhere you are in the world, and it only allows you access into your network from trusted devices. So the SaaS makes sure that any device that you're using is completely trusted, and it is being that it's trusted by the network, and the person who's using that device is also a trusted person. So and then it provides you access through a completely encrypted uh, channel.
Wow, I love that about SaaS technology. It's even more secure than traditional VPN, but a better user experience for your staff. Because really that's the balance, is balancing productivity with security.
Absolutely, they are absolutely right there. Yeah.
Feroz, thank you again for your time and for sharing your expertise.
Thank you very much for having me here, Roland.
Thank you, Roland and Feroz of Ferrotechnics, for making us that much safer. And again, big thanks to our series presenting partner at CN.
Getting 300 million tons of freight to market and powering the economic growth of a nation, that takes a lot. It takes fortitude and focus, a strong footprint, and a commitment to reducing it. It takes partnerships, communities, collaboration. It takes a vision and care for one another. It takes all of us together into the future.
Somebody once said, luck runs out, but safety is good for life. No truer words were ever spoken about cybersecurity. Let's apply all that we've learned to make ourselves that little bit safer. Big shout out to our series presenting partner at Canadian National Railway, our episode partners at Northbridge, and of course all of you for joining in and watching. Let's continue the conversation on social media. Let's do it with cybersecurity in mind on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And let's build that sustainable future safely together.